What is up, eLearning people? This is Brian Jones from eLearning Art, and today I'm going to show you how to add people to a background to make it more realistic. So what I want to show you is kind of the before. You might have, let's see, oops. You might have something like this, where you have no people in the background, and then we can add people into the background, and then you might add something like a conversation in front of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm building this in PowerPoint, and I'll go ahead and give you the source files where you have both the PowerPoint file as well as the character images so that you can build this yourself and follow along. You can really do this in any program. You can do it in Captivate or Storyline, but here I'm showing you how to do it in PowerPoint. So if you just click on the link either on the screen or in the show notes, there'll be a link to where you can get those source files. And if you think that's awesome that I'm sharing the source files with you, I'd love if you just take 1 second here and like the video. That means a lot to me. So now let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with this blank background. And I always like to operate with the selection and visibility pane open that kind of shows you your slide, the different layers and objects that are on that slide. So with this blank slide, I'm going to go ahead and insert some images. Now, when you are choosing the images to insert, actually in architecture, they call this this whole process entourage, where you're making the scene more realistic by adding people and other lifelike objects into it. So you'll see here, let me just insert all these people. And I'm just going to go ahead and scale them down a little bit. What you're going to be looking for is people in motion or doing something that might be realistic in a scene in the background that might be going on, in this example, in the office. So what you're going to have to deal with here is kind of like these two people could be, walking and talking. And I think what you don't want to do is overdo it. But let's go ahead and put these people in the background. And so I'm going to want to shrink this character here. Maybe get her walking in the back. She looks too big. And, I'm looking at the cubes here and saying, okay, she should be roughly as tall as the cube, maybe a little bit shorter than that. So we'll put her there. And same thing, this guy is going to be next to her in the background. Let's shrink him. Like he's talking to her. And she looks like she's floating back there. We'll go ahead and fix that in a second. Maybe make him a little bit shorter. There and there. Okay, that looks okay. And then this character Amit, I'm going to have him kind of standing off to the side. And it's okay to go ahead and run them off the screen. When you actually go into the final view and you publish it, that'll get cut off and cropped there. Now Ben here, I'm going to have him like he's working in his cubicle over here. And what we're going to want to do, again, I can run him off the screen and that's okay. But what I want to do here is crop. You'll see the outline of the cube there. Let's go ahead and crop Ben. And it's nice and easy with a vertical line. We can just take it right to there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll control arrow to nudge it into the right position. That looks pretty good to me. And now let's grab Jessica. Now Jessica, I'm going to have her coming out of one of the cubes. So I actually want her walking out, so let's go ahead and flip her horizontal. And it's going to be the same thing. She's a little too tall there, but we have a vertical line that we're going to want to crop her against. So let's go ahead and crop. Draw her there. Boom. Shrink her down a little bit. And maybe she's coming out right there like that. And Amit is there. Okay, so actually that looks pretty good. I'll make Amit a little bit bigger, so he's in the foreground. And then, what I might do is layer the characters having a conversation in front. So if we didn't have that, it would be fine, right? But if you wanted to add some realism to it, you'd have these people doing stuff in the background there. Now, there's some other techniques I'll show you in a future video where we can still have these people in the background and then create contrast, either by making them black and white or blurring it a little bit and having the characters really pop. And I'll show you that in a future lesson. So I also have some bonus files for you, and you can just click on the link here on the left of the screen. or again, I'll put it in the show notes as well. And I have a few other videos that I think would be useful for you after watching this one. So, if you have some more time, go ahead and click on any of those links, view those videos, and I hope you found that useful. Again, follow along with the source files, play around with it. Entourage is kind of a cool thing. And in those of you who are members of the eLearning Art Library, characters like these, I often tag them in the library as entourage. So if you run a search for entourage, you'll see, kind of have some of these characters in motion. You won't have characters like Ben, because this one is just like you'd search for it for sitting, but something with characters in motion where we specifically shot it for doing this entourage style, just search for entourage and you'll find that. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Enjoy those free files, and until next time, have a great day. Thanks.